double touch is my #1 rated skill in the game, and today we'll look at some special ways of using it. Here comes Pepper. Welcome everybody! Thanks to all of your support and your kind comments during the last days. Made me really happy. Just a few seconds for the basics for those who don't know. This is a double touch. You perform it by holding the right stick to the side you want to do the first touch and then additionally move the left stick into the direction you were already going for the second touch. Depending on the direction you run, the input changes. As you can see here, there are 3 different versions of the double touch. Number 1 is without the double touch ability, and while it can still work, it's pretty clunky. Number 2 is when your player has the double touch ability. This one works nicely. Use it whenever you want. And number 3 is when your player has all of double touch, soul control, and flip flap abilities. Then it looks like this. So far, so good. Let's start with number 1, or as I call it, the drive-by double touch. When you're approached by an opponent diagonally from a distance like here, you can pass him by double touching into him. Let me show you how this works. Double touch is actually 2 motions. The first one moves the ball along the player to the other foot. The second one keeps the ball going in the previous direction. Here, the first motion moves the ball close to the opponent, which makes him try to get the ball if he isn't idle. The game anticipates the ball to keep moving towards the same direction, so up here. But then your second motion of the double touch starts and your player just moves the ball away from the opponent who is busy tackling into nowhere. It looks harder than it is. Once you got the feeling for it, you will do it without thinking. Next up is number 2, the instant double touch. You can begin a double touch animation before the ball even reaches you, which can win you a lot of space. As you can see, here is when I begin pressing the buttons. Now I'm already done. This is called input buffering, by the way. When the ball reaches my player, he immediately performs a double touch. You can also use it to quickly change the angle or move away from a defender for a finish, like here. I wouldn't use it for high passes though, because then it will look like this. Or like this. Not recommended. Number 3 is one of my favorites, the double touch block. Very effective and really easy to use. Basically, when a player is chasing you, you can use the double touch to move directly in front of him. This way, he stays behind you and sometimes even bumps into you, loses all of his momentum and needs to accelerate again. See how big the gap between us is now as he had to stop? By doing this, you can keep opponents behind you as long as they're not directly next to you already. If they are actually next to you, there's a chance that you get pushed off and they get the ball. Here, it was pretty close to the limit, but it still worked. You can also use it when dribbling slowly. Just move in front of whoever chases you. Let's move to number 4, the double touch angle pass. There are actually 2 different ones. The first one is just using the double touch motion not to pass a player, but to get a better angle for a pass. Defenders aren't as good dealing with a double touch as they are with when you just move around. If you look here, my situation is pretty bad. Passing to Neymar below is risky and there are 3 defenders around me and another one chasing. The safest option would be to move down and pass behind to this player. However, since the selected defender is facing me and not following Neymar, I know that if I can make the pass, I'll get a great opportunity. I decide to double touch in this direction because I think it could cover both scenarios. Number 1, if he approaches me with a selected player and the other one keeps moving backwards, I get the angle between them. 2, if he switches and approaches me with the other player, I could get the angle above him, which is what happened. Now, don't be afraid if this seems overwhelming. I'm not some superhero who processes all this in real time and then makes a calculated decision. I just had a good feeling about it and gave it a try. It was pretty close too. The other version of the double touch pass is again a mechanical one. The purpose is the same. You want to change the angle for a pass, but this time we cancel the second motion of the double touch and instead pass the ball directly after it arrives at the other foot. You do this by pressing pass as soon as the double touch animation starts. You need to be really quick. This can be useful because, as I said before, defenders don't match double touches as well as normal movement, which means you can quickly create space to get the ball past a defender. You can even combine combine this with the instant double touch and instantly double touch followed by canceling it and passing immediately. Double touch passes are beautiful, aren't they? Number 5 is an obvious one now, the double touch shot. Instead of passing, you shoot. That's it. Same purpose, same way of doing it. You perform a double touch and as soon as the animation begins, you press shot. Works with both normal shots and finesse shots. Just like before, you have to be very fast to cancel the second motion of the double touch. The double touch shot lets you get a better angle for a shot or find this little gap in the defense to not have your shot blocked. Number 6. I don't have a name for this. Let's call it the audacious double touch. This is actually just a mind game with a double touch close to the end of the pitch. The reason why I included this is because many people don't expect you to go there. Even when not doing a double touch, in this position, many people will just expect you to turn. You can use this and double touch towards the end of the field, which puts you into a great position to pass into the middle. It's an excellent position because it's nigh impossible for the defender to prevent you from passing. If he covers the obvious passing lane, you can turn left and do a through ball instead. If not, you just pass it like here. How did De Ligt not score, by the way? If you have used it once in a game though, people will pay more attention to it. So watch out and perhaps go the other way next time to remain unpredictable. Last but not least, well actually it is least because it's very situational, number 7, dribbling the keeper. If for some reason you run towards the keeper and don't feel confident enough to do a finesse shot or a chip shot, you can just double touch past him and walk into the goal. The timing isn't too different when using it against keepers, so you'll be fine. 2 things though. First, before you get close to the keeper, stop sprinting, because if you're amidst a sprinting animation, you can't skill. Second, pay attention to the keeper. If your opponent suddenly uses manual goalkeeping, he might not charge at you. Then it will not work. Here we are. I hope this video helped you. I'd love if you subscribed, liked, or commented. Until then, guys, take it easy. Shaka!